Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting. Today, we are deep diving into an X feed that's really buzzing. It's celebrating this almost limitless capital flowing into AI, but at the same time, nervously hedging against some pretty big unpriced risks.
Yeah, it's quite the contrast.
We're going to fly through this landscape, multi-trillion-dollar AI investments, these surprising liability gaps that must keep lawyers awake, plus some sharp takes on big societal issues like housing and immigration.
Right.
Our mission here is simple. Grab the sharpest insights, get you up to speed fast.
And it really is a day of maximum tension, like you said. You've got this incredible technological ambition running headlong into, well, legal and physical reality.
Okay.
And to grasp that ambition, you really have to start with the sheer scale of the capital just circulating in this AI economy.
Right. Let's unpack that. Specifically, this mechanism the market seems to be calling the infinite money glitch.
Yeah, that term's catching on.
It was visualized really well by at Hamptonism, who seems to be a quant finance enthusiast.
Yeah.
The post itself is super efficient. It just reads, it's all connected, link.
And what's fascinating is the visual itself. It's a complex diagram. Bloomberg sourced it. It stops looking at the AI industry as, separate companies competing.
Right.
Instead, it shows it as one massive sort of circular feedback loop. You've got compute and capital just cycling between maybe 4 or 5 mega players.
And the numbers involved are just staggering. We're talking Nvidia at $4.5 trillion, Microsoft at $3.9 trillion. I mean, these aren't just big companies anymore.
No, they're practically economic nations. And those central financial ties, that's what really fuels this whole glitch narrative. We aren't talking small change here.
Definitely not.
You've got Nvidia, the absolute hardware backbone, committing up to $100 billion into OpenAI.
$100 billion.
And then the infrastructure layer gets even more solid with Oracle jumping in, partnering with OpenAI on cloud to the tune of $300 billion.
Okay, so it's this self-feeding network. Demand for compute pumps up the supplier's value, and then they reinvest in the demand creator. But, I mean, if it's an infinite money glitch, what's the actual risk? Where's the catch?
Well, the risk is the cascade. That's the worry. Because you have these huge mutual dependencies, like OpenAI also holding options on, 160 million AMD shares?
Right.
So if one part of this network, say chip supply or a major cloud provider, hits a snag, the ripple effect systemically could be enormous. It's not just a market correction. It's potentially a foundational infrastructure vulnerability, all resting on just a handful of decision makers.
Speaking of those key leaders, the guy supplying the chips, Jensen Huang, is all over the feed today. Some very public regrets being aired.
Yes, quite surprising.
We grouped 3 posts on this, from @UnusualWhales, at Sawyer Merritt, and at Nikrus Patain. The headline grabber from @UnusualWhales is, breaking! Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang says he wants to be part of almost everything Elon Musk is involved in.
And he said that on CNBC's Squawk Box. He got really specific about his regrets concerning xAI, Musk's AI venture.
Oh, yeah.
He actually said his only regret about xAI is that I didn't give him more money in that initial stake.
Wow. It's pretty astonishing for the main hardware supplier to regret being conservative with his investment.
It really is, but it's more than just talk, right? This kind of public endorsement, it really validates xAI's path. It shores up those rumors about a potential $2 billion commitment from Nvidia tied to chip supplies for xAI's current funding round.
So strategically crucial then, Nvidia needs xAI as a customer. xAI needs Nvidia's GPUs for training Grok.
Exactly. It's a mutual dependency. xAI needs the absolute best chips for training these massive models, and Nvidia needs these high-stakes, multi-billion-dollar clients to keep its own growth trajectory soaring.
But why such intense faith in Musk's ventures in particular?
Well, Huang actually grounded it in history. He specifically praised Musk's companies for their track record of exceptional, asymmetrical returns.
Yeah.
He pointed to Tesla's incredible, 1,000% plus stock surge since 2010.
Right.
So for Huang, xAI isn't just another AI startup. It looks like the next big bet in a pattern he sees as proven a high-leverage infrastructure build-out. Given the scale of capital involved, underinvesting in that pattern is what he views as the real mistake.
Which loops us right back to that core tension today. We're funding this colossal infrastructure with seemingly endless money.
Right.
But we seem structurally unable to ensure the massive risks it creates. So let's pivot from high finance to the immediate kind of brutal reality of liability.
Yeah, perfect transition, because that liability gap, that's the system's biggest unpriced flaw right now. It really is.
And it got summed up perfectly, maybe darkly humorously, by at NS123ABC. described as a non-technical member of technical staff. They use that classic green text format.
Ah, the green text. Always efficient.
Okay, the post reads, Be OpenAI, hire world's second largest insurance broker, say they got them coverage up to $300, insiders leak. Lol, it's actually way less. But all agreed the money falls far short of insuring against upcoming series of multi-billion-dollar lawsuits.
Hey, yeah, it's funny, but it captures a genuinely terrifying legal situation. That reported $300 million figure secured through Aon and, like the post says, already disputed as being lower.
Right.
It's just grossly inadequate. I mean, put it in perspective, OpenAI seems to have less liability coverage than a decent-sized shopping mall while facing potential multi-billion-dollar lawsuits.
And the types of claims are piling up, and they're all over the map. You've got the New York Times copyright suit.
Yep.
A very high-profile wrongful death claim involving AI guidance alleged in a teen suicide.
So tragic.
And even XAI hitting them with a trade secret action. The sheer volume and variety, it's unprecedented.
Which begs the critical question. If VCs are pouring billions into this, shouldn't they be underwriting the risk? But the answer, apparently coming from execs in Aon, is a hard no.
Why not?
Insurers are balking, not because they're being cheap, but because the potential harms from these large language models are seen as systemic and correlated.
Okay, what does systemic and correlated mean in insurance terms here?
It means if the AI messes up, hallucinates, infringes copyright, gives dangerous advice, it could affect millions of users and dozens of companies all at once.
Oh.
The risk is just too widespread, it spreads too fast, and it's too hard to model with traditional actuarial methods. So the scale of money pouring in is matched only by the scale of unpriced risk created, which right now has to be absorbed by who? The VCs, or maybe eventually all of us.
So while the lawyers wrestle with that existential risk, the immediate practical utility of AI just keeps accelerating, making daily life simpler.
Exactly. A completely different side of the coin.
Let's look at a post from @Daria_TR, who's a biomedical scientist. They shared a glimpse of this immediate, personalized future powered by AI. The post is, Soon. Hey, ChatGPT, order food from DoorDash that you know I would like tonight. Make sure it's under 700 calories and nutritionally balanced.
See, this isn't just asking a chatbot to, send a text message for you. This is the perfect example of how OpenAI's new apps SDK, their software development kit, aims to cut down decision fatigue by embedding controlled, limited LLM access directly inside partner apps.
So the AI isn't just suggesting the food, it's actually doing the complex task based on rules I've set, like calories and my past preferences.
Precisely. DoorDash, Uber Eats, OpenTable are their first partners. You're using AI not just to order, but to manage something complex like calorie-controlled healthy eating without manually digging through menus and nutrition facts.
The AI does the heavy lifting, cognitively speaking.
Right.
And that instantly expands this AI capability to potentially, 800 million users across those platforms? It's a huge efficiency win.
Absolutely. And that seamless utility, you see it mirrored in the creative space, too. If AI can manage dinner, it can certainly help shape our visual world.
Yeah, the creative frontier keeps exploding. Tetsuai, a developer since '94 apparently, shared this wonderfully complex prompt today that kicked off a viral thread for Grok 4, Imagine.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Okay, they wrote, try this prompt with Grok 4, Imagine, share what you get. Prompt, a compact, rusty metal spaceship with faded red markings hovering in a misty twilight atmosphere, illuminated by soft golden-orange light cascading through scattered clouds with vibrant, iridescent auroras link.
Wow, that's a prompt. It's like a masterclass in layering details. You've got texture, rusty metal, specific lighting, golden orange cascade, atmosphere, misty twilight, and even dynamic elements, iridescent auroras.
And the results people were sharing, apparently stunning 6-second cinematic videos.
Yeah, I saw some of those.
The key thing here isn't just that it looks cool, but Grok 4's ability to actually handle that level of layered complexity. Older models often struggled with translating that much nuanced texture, light, environment into something coherent and moving.
Right, they'd lose track of some elements. But producing a video that keeps the rusty ship and the golden light and the shimmering auroras all at once, that shows a real leap in flexibility and temporal coherence, keeping things consistent over time.
So make serious sci-fi art accessible without needing complex 3D software skills. Lowers the barrier for creators massively.
Definitely.
And this incredibly fast, almost startling acceleration brings us neatly to a bit of a philosophical check-in, courtesy of Iter Intellectus, who self-describes as a professional shitposter.
Yeah, okay. Always appreciate honesty.
Their reminder is short, sharp, maybe a little provocative, friendly reminder that AI progress stops the moment the model becomes smarter than you.
Ah.
No.
Yeah, that's humorous, but it's actually a pretty potent comment on our tendency towards, anthropocentric bias,
Yeah.
thinking we're the measure of all things. It plays on that S-curve model of tech
Will
progress.
you give us the quick, ELI5 on the S-curve idea?
Sure. The basic idea is technology capabilities often start slow, then hit a phase of really rapid exponential growth before eventually leveling off or plateauing.
Okay.
The post is suggesting that for us humans watching, that feeling of stagnation, the plateau, it only feels like it happens the moment the AI actually surpasses our own ability to judge or even really understand the progress being made.
So we stop seeing the innovation because we can't grasp the new frontier anymore.
Kind of, yeah. And the benchmarks seem to back up that acceleration narrative, even if it feels abstract sometimes. We've seen models this year like O1 Preview scoring, 83% on really complex knowledge tests like GKQA.
Right, compared to human PhDs at 74%.
Exactly. So the progress is speeding up. The joke is just a sort of nudge to accept that reality, even if it's uncomfortable.
And that philosophical challenge, the sheer speed of tech change, often runs smack into the rigid realities of our physical and political world.
Always does.
Let's look at how some macro trends are hitting up against existing social structures, starting with the latest contentious immigration data.
Right. Turning to @Leading Report, which bills itself as a source for breaking news, they highlighted a pretty major data claim today.
And the claim was, breaking. The foreign-born population has dropped by 2.2 million across the United States under President Trump, per CPS analysis.
Now, that claim comes from the Center for Immigration Studies analysis of the current population survey data, the CPS, specifically looking at January to August 2025.
Okay.
It does suggest a significant decline, which some might link to, second-term border and internal enforcement policies. It's a very specific, politically charged number that obviously gets a lot of attention immediately.
Absolutely.
And just to maintain strict impartiality here, we have to add the necessary context. While that figure's out there, economists, for example, from places like the Peterson Institute often caution that using the CPS for precise population counts like this can be tricky. It's known for having significant month-to-month volatility and potential survey inaccuracies. Those numbers can sometimes contrast sharply with more stable estimates from other government data sets. So we're just reporting the claim in the important context for you, the listener.
Understood. Okay, next up, the ever-present housing crisis. Specifically, a pushback against the common excuse, land scarcity. This comes from @Lavelio, Peter Levels. The post simply reads, every person's country from the sky who says there's not enough land to build new houses link.
And the visual attached is really powerful. It's an aerial shot showing these huge tracts of Dutch farmland, open rural space, maybe some turbines. It's just a simple, direct visual rebuttal to the whole idea that the core problem is we've physically run out of space to build.
And the author's stance, Levels, is pretty strong on this, isn't it? He advocates for just extreme housing oversupply.
Yeah, basically build everywhere possible, almost flood the market to intentionally crash prices and make housing affordable for people who need to live in it rather than just an investment vehicle.
So the takeaway isn't that we lack land.
No, the takeaway is the scarcity is political, not physical. It's about zoning laws, regulatory hurdles, NBAism, not in my backyard opposition. Those are the real targets of this critique, not the actual amount of land available.
And the urgency is real. We see hard data on this. Eurostat figures, for instance, suggest Europe needs something like 5.8 million new homes every year just to keep pace with demand and replacing old stock.
5.8 million needed, but current building rates, they're only delivering about half that number across the continent.
Half. So we're basically building one house for every two that are needed.
Which pretty much guarantees this chronic affordability crisis just keeps getting worse until local politics and regulations shift to actually favor building more homes rather than just preserving existing, sometimes arbitrary zoning.
Which brings us towards the end of today's deep dive. We've covered a huge amount of ground pretty quickly, from those multi-trillion-dollar feedback loops to these systemic insurance gaps.
And that tension, that's really the defining vibe today, isn't it? Right. We're building this incredible new tech infrastructure, this multi-trillion-dollar machine fueled by unbelievable capital.
Yeah.
But that acceleration is mirrored by these massive, uninsurable systemic risks that traditional finance just can't seem to price. Technology's racing ahead, while the financial and legal guardrails are lagging way behind.
So wrapping up, what does this all mean for you as you process the day's news? Thinking about the incredible capital being poured into, say, optimizing your dinner delivery or generating cool sci-fi videos with Grok 4,
Right.
what's the single most critical, maybe uninsurable societal problem you think AI should be forced to tackle next? And maybe more importantly, who should actually pay for the risk involved in trying?
That is a fascinating dilemma for our accelerating world. A tough question.
Absolutely. Something to chew on. That's it for today's Daily Vibecasting. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the next Pulse.